Hey there, sweet friends, and welcome back to another late night chat here on Midnight Momma. I've got my trusty heating pad, a warm cup of coffee in my hands, and my notebook open, dreaming about spring. Because even in the dead of winter, our minds and hearts can start preparing for what's coming next. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about tonight, planning for the next season, both physically and spiritually. So grab your favorite blanket, settle in, and let's chat. Y'all, I don't know about you, but when it's this cold outside, it helps think ahead to warmer days. That's why I'm laying here flipping through my seed catalogs, jotting down notes, and planning out our spring garden. There's just something about looking forward to planting time that brings me so much hope. The Lord wired us for seasons. Times of sowing, times of reaping, and times of waiting in between. Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven." Right now, we're in a season of quiet, but spring is coming, and that means it's time to prepare. So, let's talk garden planning. If you're anything like me, you get ambitious this time of year, dreaming of a garden overflowing with tomatoes and peppers, herbs and flowers. But a good garden starts with a good plan. So I always start with 3 things in mind. What worked last year, because reflecting on past seasons helps us make wiser choices. What do we actually use? It's easy to get caught up in the excitement, but I try to focus on growing what my family will actually eat and enjoy. And lastly, what new thing do I want to try? Every year, I pick 1 or 2 things to experiment with. Sometimes it's a new variety of squash, or sometimes it's a fun herb. And of course, planning isn't just about vegetables. It's about the soil, the timing, and making sure we're setting ourselves up for success. Proverbs 24:27 says, "Prepare your work outside, get everything ready for yourself in the field, and after that, build your house." Wise preparation leads to fruitful harvests, and that applies to more than just the garden. And speaking of planning, it's also time to order this year's batch of chicks. I don't know if you've got chickens on your homestead or just dream of them, but let me tell you, those little fluff balls are such a joy. Raising chickens teaches patience, care, and responsibility. Just like in gardening, tending to animals requires faithfulness. Luke 16:10 reminds us, "Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much." Taking care of the small things, whether it's a tiny seed or a baby chick, prepares us to handle bigger blessings. So, as I look over the hatchery catalog, I'm thinking about what breeds we need this year. More egg layers, a few meat birds, or maybe a broody hen or 2 to help with natural hatching. Every choice we make now affects the season ahead. Now let's tie all of this back to homemaking and our walk with the Lord. Just like we plan our gardens and order our chickens, we need to be intentional about the atmosphere of our homes and the condition of our hearts. What kind of seeds are we planting in our families? Are we sowing peace, love, and patience? Or are we letting weeds of bitterness and frustration take over? Galatians 6:9 encourages us, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Homemaking is a long game, just like gardening. The effort we put in now, teaching our children, cultivating a loving marriage, deepening our faith, will bear fruit in due time. So, sweet friends, as we sip our coffee and dream of warmer days, let's take this winter season to prepare, both practically and spiritually. Let's plan our gardens, our homes, and our hearts with purpose. Because spring always comes, and when it does, we want to be ready to plant, to grow, and to flourish. Let's close in prayer. Father, thank you for the gift of seasons, for the quiet of winter that allows us to plan and reflect. And help us to be diligent in our homes, faithful in our work, and intentional in our walk with you. May we plant seeds of love, wisdom, and patience, trusting that you will bring the increase. Bless our families, our homemaking, and our hearts as we prepare for the days ahead. In Yeshua Jesus' name, amen. Thanks for spending this time with me tonight, friend. Until next time, keep your coffee hot, your heart full, and your home a place of peace.